Imagine that. Every decision you make could alter the outcome. What if each movement on the chart isn't just numbers, but the key to seizing the perfect moment? Or is there something hiding behind those familiar indicators? What if everything you thought you knew about trends is just a small part of a much bigger game? When is the right moment to take a risk? And when should you stay in the shadows? And most importantly, what if it's not just about profit, but a chance to master this world of chaos? Today, I'll show you how to set up indicators to catch the most profitable entry points. You'll learn which asset pairs bring the highest returns and how to minimize risks. Ready to dive in? So, let's get started with our trading today. I've analyzed the charts and we'll focus on a powerful combo of alligator and zigzag indicators. The strategy? Ride the trend and spot pullbacks for the best entry points. Also use the CCI oscillator to identify overbought and oversold zones, helping us catch some great trades even against the trend. Today, I'll show you how it works in action. Let's get started with the first asset. I'm opening my first trade against the trend here. If the price moves higher, I'll adjust and open a higher position, anticipating a potential shift in the trend. I'm betting against the trend because the oscillator is in the overbought zone, signaling a possible downturn, and a local maximum is forming. There's been a breakout of the last two touch points, which aligns with my entry logic. With the alligator's lines crossing from bottom to top, this indicates a potential reversal. Let's see if I'm right as I open a trade with an expectation of a slight pullback before further movement. Let's check the result of the second trade. As you can see, the second trade was successful. The entry was a bit tricky, but I managed to pull it off. Now, I'm going to adjust the trade's size, probably setting it to the maximum to reach a profit that better suits my goals. I'll take on a bit more risk and aim to choose the next trade more carefully and reliably. Let's keep going and pick the next asset. Here, I prefer to open a position to go long. I noticed a new local minimum forming along the fractal, and overall the trend is moving upward. After this structural minimum, the oscillator's moving line is nearly in the oversold area, suggesting a potential reversal. Given that the trend is currently dominated by rising volumes, I'm expecting a continuation of the upward movement after this pullback. Let's watch how it plays out. And the trade was closed in profit. Great! The signal worked out perfectly, and it was a solid, reliable signal. Now, I'll adjust the transaction value and set the maximum for the next trade. This was a clear example of how this strategy works, timing the entry based on solid indicators. As you can see, I hit the candle at just the right moment and closed the position in the green. Now, let's keep going, continue our training, and pick the next asset. Here, I'll probably try to open a short trade again. It's quite risky, and I feel it's not as reliable as the previous one, but I'm still following the dynamics of the previous movement. If we look at these pullbacks, they are structurally similar to each other, and from this level, I believe we could see further downward movement. The trend is clearly pointing down, so I'm going to take a short position here. And the deal closed in profit. Great, let's take another chance. I'll probably open the next trade with the maximum amount of my balance, and the future profit should work out well for me. I'll aim to choose the next position as reliably as possible, even though I'm risking all my profits again. Let's move on and pick the next cryptocurrency. And let's try to open a short trade here, going against the trend. It's a risky move, but I'd rather take the chance than regret not doing it. A new global maximum is forming, and while I'm not betting on a full trend reversal, I believe there's a 100% pullback coming. The moving average on my oscillator is coming out of the overbought zone, yet the maximum is still forming. I'm not following the alligator's lines here, as they're showing an upward momentum right now, especially in the last few seconds. And actually, my risk paid off perfectly. I closed the trade with a profit without any issues. Now, let's analyze another interesting entry to solidify the results. The profit from today's trades is more than enough for me, so I'll open a $68 trade. In case of failure, $400 on my balance will still work for me. Let's continue analyzing and look for another interesting entry, but let's select the next asset. And here, I'm probably going to open a short trade. It's not the best entry point, and I didn't expect an upward momentum right now, but nonetheless, a stronger exit has already occurred. And that's actually reassuring. I can already see a small intersection on the alligator's sliding lines. The trend dynamics are pointing downward. Despite the flat movement earlier, I'm leaning more towards the downward trend. There was also an update of the local maximum before, so I'm opening the trade now, aiming for the very minimum. The last few seconds are pretty tense. And unfortunately, I'm closing the deal in the negative. There was an upward momentum after all, and I ended up closing it in the red. Well, that happens. There was such a strong exit here, so I won't dwell on it. That's probably it for today. Let's lock in the profit and move on to withdrawal. The amount of today's profit will be $330. The withdrawal operation is being successfully completed. This is how trading turned out for today using this set of indicators. If you have any questions, you can always find a link to my Telegram in the description below the video and ask anything you're curious about. Of course, have a great day and see you soon. And that's a wrap for today's trading session. But did I make the right decisions with each entry? Could I have taken even more profit from the market? How do you think the next trade will turn out if I follow this strategy again?